Yo, what's going on, man? Today I'm breaking down these three things for you guys. Number one, how the world do you train? Like, how much should you train? Do we train once a week? Do we train twice a week? Do we go crazy and go every single day? I'm gonna help you guys out with that. Okay, that's number one. Number two, let's break down how do we train our knees in the season. The knees are very important. The knees are very vital. How do we train on joints in the season? Okay, we got to keep them right, keep them healthy while we're still playing inside the season. Can't just like take a break and not train them at all and then hope the knees get better. So how do we train them in season? And last but not least, that mental game, meditation. I'm breaking it down for you guys. I'm helping you understand what is meditation because it gets kind of weird. It's kind of like an out there thing. I'm gonna break it down for you guys and simplify what is meditation. That's the big three. Let's get into it. Yo, welcome into the BeBall Jones podcast. The goal of this podcast in my business is to bridge the gap to fuel hoop dreams into impactful realities on the court and beyond. So thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoy it. We're players, we're hoopers, and we understand we need to put in work. Okay, but there's some confusion sometimes around how often do we really train? Should we train once? Is once a week good enough? Do we train twice a week, 3 times, 5 times, every single day? Well, I'm gonna answer your question with some questions questioning yours. Number one, how much do you want to get out of the game? Like, what is your end goal? If you want to play at a high level, your input has to be at a high level. Okay. So if you guys want to play high level of college basketball or to get to a position where you want to play pro, you have to train a lot more than just once or twice a week. That's not gonna cut it. You really have to put in a lot of work. Okay. Next, you guys, that's kind of loaded thing. So I'm gonna break down these questions for you. So next is gonna be how old are you? Because how old you are and where you're at in your career determines how often you're gonna train. Because that determines your goal. So if you're in fourth grade, train every day, maybe, maybe not. I probably wouldn't have you on the basketball court every single day. If you're in ninth grade, for sure. Like you're for sure training at least 3 times a week if that's what you know you should want to do. If you know you want to play college basketball, especially D1 basketball, every day, as close to every day as possible. Like no less than 5. That's the bare minimum. If you're in middle school, 2 to 4. Somewhere in that range is really good for you because if you really want to make at that next level, basketball is a skill sport. You have to have a lot of skill, and skills take a lot of time and repetitions to get fine tuned in to where you can be a very highly skilled player. So those are 2 questions. Okay. Third question. What are we considering training? If we're talking about the on the court skills part, that's one answer. If we're talking about the weight room and getting stronger as far as a human being and as far as our physical performance, it's another part. But then there's the IQ part, watching film. There's another part of training. So if we're talking about on the court stuff, that goes back to your age and go back to your goals. On the court stuff, I gave you guys some answers with that. Weight room stuff, weight room can really be any every day. That doesn't mean you have to go bench press and squat everything every day, but anywhere from at least 2, 3 times a week is really good. The younger you are, um, as you get older, you need to supplement and mix up how you work out. So you can do anything from uh, 3 heavy days, or maybe 4 heavy days, depending on how you split it up, to doing. Uh, so say you do 3 or 4 heavy days. If you split it up, you can do the rest of them being medium to light days. It really depends on your training frequency. If you want to do 3 days a week, 3 full body strength and conditioning days, and then you can pair that up with 3 hardcore court days, and then you can rest to go lighter the other days. If you want to do 4 days a week, you might split it up upper body and lower body, 2 upper body days, 2 lower body days, and then on the lower body days, you go really hard, go really aggressive, train hard on the court. But then on the upper body days, you go a little bit lighter, might do stationary stuff, shooting. Depends on where you are in age. There's a lot of factors we have to think about with this. But last but not least, film. Film can be done every day. 5 minutes of film, 15 minutes of film every day, 30 minutes of film. Depends once again, depending on what you want to get out, determines what you got to put in. So, um, These things are very important, and then people forget that the film part is a part of training. So you want to add more to your game mentally and your IQ without having wear and tear to your body and your knees and your joints and ligaments. Simply just watch film. Go watch some games and get that IQ piece rolling and watching film and understanding how to do things in pick and roll, or how to do this on defense, how to do that on offense. How do I score and get your lane easier? How does this player do it? Let me steal it from them and add it to my game to figure out how can I develop this specific skill in this specific way. So all these things are determining on the other. So it's not so easy to just answer it. I have to give more detailed answers depending on you and who you are. But my last question I want you guys to answer for yourself. What time of year is it? Are we in season? Are we off season? Are we playing different sports in that season? Are we solely focused on basketball? So with these four questions, that's going to help you figure out what your training should look like. So let's say you are a sixth grader and you want to play college ball. You want to play a high level college ball, and you're serious about the game. Like you really want to be serious. I would probably have you training no less than twice, 3 times a week on the court, and weight room 2, 3 times a week as well. So give you like weekends off maybe, or maybe go a light Saturday, but 2, 3 times a week we're here in the court, 2, 3 times a week we're here in the weight room. Nice full body stuff, not going crazy with you, but just to get you stronger, get you certain level of strength that you should be at when you're at that stage. Um, we're probably going to touch a little bit of film twice a week, maybe just to get you touched up on that. Because I know it's kind of boring to you. So we'll probably do either small little bits of film or once or twice a week of more heavy loaded, I guess you can say, film watching. If you're a ninth or 10th grader, and you're in season, we're probably going to back off a little bit. We might do 2 times a week, maybe 3 times a week, depending on the schedule and what you got going on. We're probably going to touch the weight room heavy on your game days or right after game days, and then probably do a little light stuff between here and there. Court work, we're probably going to touch the court. You should be touching the court every day pretty much, because you're going to be you're either in your games or you're in the training sessions. So you're going to be training pretty much every day in season. Off season, pretty similar schedule. You're going to have a heavy days and a light days with that. You're probably going to sit down and have a good 3 or 4 days where you might be going uh, medium to heavy, and you might have 2, 3 days where you're going medium to light. It just depends on the schedule what you got going on. If you're playing other sports, probably going to work around that sports schedule and get you a little bit lighter on the court. Weight room should pretty much be similar, if not the exact same, because you should be training like an athlete, not a bodybuilder, and not like a power lifter. So your workout should be relatively the same throughout if you're about the 10th grade. And then um, if you're in college, it's a whole different schedule, a whole different ball game. So it really depends on which stage and your age you're in, depending on what your goals are. And it's just so many factors that play a role into it. And hopefully this helps you guys. Hopefully this helps you guys out to where you have a better understanding of where you're at and where you should train, of where you want to get to. So if you're really serious about this thing, you should put in a little bit more than what you think you do. Because more than likely you're not training hard enough to really get what you say you want to get out of it. And the younger you are, a little more leeway. The older you are, the more strict and the more input you should be putting into the game. Depending on what you're considering training. Do you need more skill work? Do you need more weight room work? Do you need to watch more film? The film can be pretty much every day. Skill work, probably every day. Weight room, no less than 3 times a week. Depends on that. Are we in season? Are we off season? Are we playing different sports in the off season, or are we strictly focusing on basketball? So hopefully I gave you guys a clear idea of what it means, what goes into how much you should train. How much should I train during the week? How many sessions should I get in when talking about training? How often should I get in the court and get in the weight room? So that's it for you guys, man. That is what it takes to be training at a high level every single week. It depends on your age. It's really a loose question. I hope I gave specific enough answers to help you guys out and get some value out of it. If not, come in and let me know. Like, hey, I still got more questions. I still need to understand more. I'm not very clear on what you mean when you said that. So let me know. Hopefully I can help you guys out, provide even more value for you guys so you understand it. So that's it. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, hold on. Time out real quick. We're gonna get back to the episode. I know you're enjoying it. I know you're enjoying the show. But I need you to help me real quick and to make sure that this episode can grow, make sure this podcast, the show can grow overall, and you can keep getting great guests like this. Make sure that you subscribe and follow along. So if you watch right now on YouTube, help me out by hitting the subscribe button. Okay, go ahead and do it real quick. If you're listening in your car, chill out for a second. If you're on Apple or on Spotify, just like when you get a moment, hit the follow button, but not right now while you're driving. If you're working out or something, or you chilling in your room, then go ahead and subscribe with me. Like, help me help you. Okay. But thank you for watching. I really appreciate you. I'm gonna stop interrupting so you get back to the episode. Thank you. Yo, I did an interview before with Dr. Ebonie Rio, and she's like a professional when it comes to these knees, man. She knows what you're talking about when it's talking about training the knees. So she's works in the lower body, ligaments and tendons and stuff when it comes to our lower body. So she was professional. She's top tier when it comes to knowing and understanding what it takes to get the knees right. So in that interview, I asked her about training in season, what it takes to get our knees healthy, because a lot of times we hear about training and it's only in the off season we talk about or think about really training. We should be training your knees in season too, because it doesn't make sense to do all of this build up to get to the season. You stop training, you stop working out, and then there's this gap to where you're just tearing your knees up and tearing them down, and then you want to build back on top of it and pick back up where you left off right here. There's a big gap right there, so you don't want to do that. So how do we train our knees in season to maintain and even get them better while we're training in season? So with help from Dr. Ebonie Rio, a few notes I got from her. So first off, I'm going to just give you guys a layout of specific exercises you guys should be doing, and just kind of a feel for what it looks like to be training in these in season. So first and foremost, training in season. You should be focusing on strengthening your calves, strengthening your quads, your glutes. And just overall, your leg strength to get that stronger too. So doing squats and stuff is cool, but to really emphasize the knees and get them stronger too, you should be focused on seated and standing calf raises. Okay, to make sure that and it should be one-legged. So one-legged, seated, and standing calf raises. To make sure up to par, you should be able to do anywhere from 30 to 35 one-legged calf raises, and that's just to say you're in a condition or the state to be able to play. If you can't do 30 to 35 one-legged calf raises, you got some weak calves. You need to get them stronger and get them up there, because that's a test to see if your lower leg is stronger and at a place to where you can handle the load that comes with being a player, being a hooper. So you should be able to do 30 to 35 one-legged calf raises. Next, you should be able to do some leg extension. So you're sitting down on the bench and you're kicking out from your knee. So pretend this is your knee right here. You're gonna have the weight here, and you're kicking your legs. Sorry if you're watching on you're listening on audio, but if you're gonna have here and you're gonna be kicking and extending your legs out from the knee. So your knee staying still, knee and above staying still, and the knee down is gonna be going out and extending to where your leg is straight. You should be able to sit down and handle at least 66 to 67 pounds of doing that isometric. So you're going to sit there and hold it. In season, you're going to do a lot of isometrics. So leg extension, you're kicking it out and you want to hold it. Okay. You don't want to be straight, all the way straight with it. You want to have anywhere between straight out and not to where you're just sitting there chilling, but more kicked out. So you want to put some tension and pressure on your quads and on your knees till you're actually working. So you guys want to sit it and hold it. Okay. The goal is to get to 66 to 67 pounds, just about somewhere in that range, one of them two. Because at that, isometrics helps you to where you're getting the strength and you're getting the load without the wear and tear of uh, having the weight on your legs so heavy. And now you're taking away from your game rather than adding to it. Isometrics is a safe way to load without being super sore, without being super tired, and without tearing yourself up to where now you can hoop or recover like you need to for the game. So leg extensions are great. Isometrics are awesome in season. Leg press, it's the next exercise. You should be able to do body weight 1.5 times your body weight. So 1 to 1.5 times your body weight for 4 sets of 6. Okay. So If you weigh 100 pounds, you should be able to leg press 100 to 150 pounds for 4 sets of 6. Okay, that's the standard we're trying to get to. So you should be able to do, if you weigh 100 pounds, you should be able to leg press 100 to 150 pounds on the leg press machine. That's an adequate level of strength you should have in your legs to be able to sustain and support yourself with all the forces, all the jumping, all the landing, all the cutting you're gonna be doing on the court. So your knees don't break down. You still feel healthy. You're still moving and grooving when you're on the court. Okay. Next, we should be looking at and looking into some more isometrics. So we're gonna do isometrics overall for the knees, and then once you get done with the isometrics, you should look into, it's called isotonics, but I'm not going to use that big word. I'm gonna help you out and just say timed or tempo reps. So moving slow and controlled. So you should be able to do 3 seconds lifting and 4 seconds lowering, just about. Or you can do 3 seconds lifting, hold it for 1 second, and 3 seconds lowering, just to make sure that your body is controlling the weight and not just moving the weight around, because we get lazy, so we do quick little pump reps, or we do half reps and stuff, or we go fast because you don't feel the tension as much. It is not as sore, but sometimes you need a little bit of soreness, and it's good for you to be able to control the weight and say, hey, I'm strong enough to be able to have this weight, maintain it, and hold it. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're doing isometrics mainly in season, but sprinkling a little bit of the motor, no, not the motor, the metronome or timed reps in there. That helps you guys be able to say, I am strong, I am under control of this weight, and I'm strong and under control of my body. Okay. Mixing in a little bit of that in season. Not a whole lot, just a little bit, but mainly doing isometrics. Okay. So if you guys are able to do the seated and standing calf raises, the leg press, and the leg extensions, have some good legs. Okay. Now, going back to the glute, you should be able to do uh, a side plank. Hold that for about a minute. Now, a good side plank is when your hips are up on the ground. You should be able to, if I turn my head and cock it to the side and look at you doing your plank, it should be a straight line from the top of your head all the way down to your pelvic or groin area, all the way down through your feet. So, a straight line all the way through doing that side plank. All right. I know it's a little challenging to stay mentally locked in, but that's why we're only doing a minute. If you go past a minute, you can do some weights or do something else to make it a little bit more challenging. But ideally, or not even ideally, to be real, most of us probably strong enough to really just maintain that weight like we want to. So if you have proper form, that side plank should be challenging. Okay. So side planks, if you don't have that, standing hip abductions, meaning you're standing and I have a cable pulley attached to my leg. Okay, and I'm moving my leg away from my body to get the side part of your butt, that glute medius right there. You want to get that working. Okay, so you're working that muscle, and you want to move your leg away from your body to challenge that muscle that's forcing the leg to move out. Okay, so your leg should be resisting the weight and pushing it out away from your body. So you should be able to do those. And really doing hip thrusts and hip bridges. Doing that is another solid move to get your glutes stronger to where your glutes are able to sustain and hold your knees up too. All right. So hopefully you guys found some value in this. Okay. Those are the exercises we should be doing. And you should really be doing those 2-3 times a week. Depending on your schedule, depending on when you're playing, determines that. Okay. And last but not least, doing low level plyometrics. Okay. We're not gonna go in crazy, nothing too much, because you should be doing a lot of the higher level plyometrics on the court, because you're jumping and landing and stuff on the court. If you're not getting it on the court, now we can talk about doing more stuff in the weight room. But ideally, you're getting everything on the court, and you do a little bit low level stuff just to maintain or get, so you have a bucket of what you can hold. You want to expand that bucket more to be able to increase your capacity of what your body can handle when it comes to plyometrics. So low level plyometrics will help you expand and increase more of what you can handle for your body. We're talking about the plyometric mode. So you're not going to do a lot of high level stuff, especially if you're playing, getting everything you need on the court. So doing a lot of low level stuff and making sure that your body's not just strong, but you're able to maintain and hold the strength that you need to jump and land. Okay. So working your knees in season, those are the exercises you need. the sets and reps you need. That's the days you need. That's the plyometrics you need. So hopefully you found some value in this. Hopefully this helped you out. If it did, let me know. If you want more details and understanding about it, go to the interview I did with Dr. Ebonie Rio and get some more clarification on there. If you still don't understand, comment on this video or comment on the interview and let me know. If you have more questions you want me to ask her, she's open field to me bringing her back on. We can have your questions answered by her and have more fun, get more game because I want to provide as much value for you guys as I can to help you out. Goals to help you be the best hooper you can be. Skill wise on the court, physically in the weight room, perform well, and mental performance, get your mindset right. So if you guys have any more questions about the knees, comment below, let me know. Comment on the other video with Dr. Ebonie Rio where I did an interview and let me know there. And I appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you later. Appreciate you. All right. Okay. Another timeout. Okay. Look, if you got to this point, you have to be enjoying the episode. Like you have to. At this point in the episode, you're enjoying it. So help me help you. Just if you're on Apple right now and you're on your phone, okay, just take your phone, press the subscribe button. It's right there. Just do that with me. Even if on your laptop, take your mouse, boom, click over, boom, do your thing. Now you subscribe. Now you linked in because you don't want to miss the next great episode that I have. But doing stuff like this helps the episode grow, makes the show grow, and the podcast grow so I can keep getting great guests and keep doing great interviews. So if you listen on Apple or Spotify, take a second, look at your phone, press the follow button, okay? And share with a friend or two because you'll find the value in this. You want to have this conversation with your friends so they can have the same value. Now the whole basketball community can grow. All right. Thanks for listening so far. I'm gonna get out your way. Let's get back to the episode. Appreciate you. Aristotle was a smart man. Aristotle once said, "It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it." So when it comes to meditation for me, I like to simplify. I don't like to use the big words that people use. Meditation is simply a tool to do three things. Okay. Meditation is a tool to be able to focus, to increase your awareness, and to provide clarity. Okay. To help you focus, help you be more aware, help you get more clear on things in your life. Okay. So that quote for me means that it's the mark of an educated mind to entertain thought without accepting it, meaning you're able to have a thought into your mind, decide, do I focus on it or do I not focus on it? Okay. I don't focus on it. I move away from it. That's all it is. So it's focus and awareness and clarity all come through meditation from my personal experience. Okay. So it is a tool to help bring more mindfulness, and mindfulness just means awareness basically. So meditation is a great tool because it does those things for me. Okay. And you have some things that distract you and can throw you off your path mentally. And meditation is basically just a way for you to flex that mental muscle and help you guys be more focused and be more aware, and just decrease some of the distractions, let you know what to focus on. It's not the fact that you're not focusing, it's knowing what to focus on is what meditation does for you. So it's two ways I like to think about what focus is. Two of them. One and two. So one is you're not just staring at one point. It's not like it's like the Kobe book. I'm staring at the Kobe book, just staring at that, and that's it. Imagine all the books I have on my bookshelf and knowing which one to read and know which one to stare at. So imagine it's 1,000 dots on the wall in front of you, or if you're driving, listen to this, or in the car, listen to this. Imagine there's a whole bunch of different lanes you can go down in the road, but knowing which lane is the one for you that you can just focus on and driving, or knowing which dot to focus on and to laser in on. That's what a meditation does for you, help you to narrow in to have that level of focus. And the second definition of focus, way to think about focus, is saying yes to something and then saying no after that. So it's me saying yes to I'm going to go train and work on my basketball skills, but then saying no to opportunities that come up that'll distract me away from that. So if I said yes to recording this podcast at 5 p.m. on a Tuesday, then I'm recording this podcast 5 p.m. on a Tuesday. I'm telling no to my friend that wants to go out. I'm saying no to my cousin that wants to go to the mall. I'm saying no to the friend that wants to uh call me or text me while I want to record this. That's what I'm focusing on doing this podcast. So you are able to focus by knowing what you have to stare at, knowing it's going to go down, and that's it. And then saying yes to a certain thing, and then saying no to anything else because those other things become a distraction to you rather than the thing that you be focused on. So that's what focus is to me. It's those two things are how you can define and really think about what focus is. So you realize what the thing is to focus on, you say yes to it and say no to everything after it. So focus is. Mindfulness is kind of like a little fancy up there word, but I like to call it awareness. And awareness is basically being in the current space or being present of where you are, being in the moment. Um, I heard somebody say this and I love it, man. He says, be where your feet are. And sometimes we get so distracted by our phones and by we just like mentally go on and go off somewhere, but be where your feet are. So if your feet are here in the gym, your mind should be in the gym. If you're in the classroom, your mind should be in the classroom. Your head should not be in the clouds all the time. It's not good to be just lost in the clouds all the time and always daydreaming and wandering off somewhere else. You need to be present and be where your feet are at. There are moments of times, remember being focused, knowing, saying yes to this and no to everything else. Saying yes to in this moment, I need to be where my feet are. And I'm saying no to everything else in this moment. So in this moment, I'm being mindful and aware of where my thoughts are and what I'm thinking about, what I'm not thinking about. So you shouldn't let yourself get anxious and get bogged down about the future because your feet aren't there. You're not physically able to be there yet. So why am I going to overly focus on that next step and be anxious about there when I'm right here, when I'm in the right now? So you're able to be mindful and aware about the right now because that's where your feet are. And I remember they said that if you want to know how somebody feels about people who they're most interested in or not interested in, if they're with someone, watch where their feet are. If the feet are pointed towards that person, they're interested toward them. If their feet are pointed away, their awareness is not 100% to that person. They're kind of being aware of the scenario or the scene around them, or they might be itching to go. They might not want to talk to them. You feel me? So I know when I'm with certain people, if I'm talking to my brother, then I'll sit there and we might not be standing face to face if we're out in public because I'm kind of like being aware of the scenario of what's around us. So I'm hearing and paying attention to him, but I'm mindful and aware of the scene around us too. But if we're at home and we're chilling, he has my attention because we're talking, we're chilling. Might be watching my little nephew, his son, or my little niece, my sister's kid. Might be watching them and stuff, but there's a level of awareness, so my attention might be split somewhere else because that's where my feet are. Okay, so that's would be where your feet are. Is like I barred that together. That was a bar, so you guys know. But that's a level of awareness and mental meditation, not meditation, but mental focus and mindfulness to know, be aware of the scenario and be in the moment and be present. So when when you're able to really be focused and be in the current moment, you're in a good mental space now because so many people get overwhelmed and so anxious about what's next and what's to come that they get distracted from what's right now. So through meditation, you can develop that focus and awareness to be able to stay locked in and stay in the moment of where you are. So when you're breathing, when you're thinking on these things, that's the art and the practice of being focused and being aware. Okay. So think about, I have this analogy of thinking about a flashlight, right? So if I had to have my arm straight out and I have a flashlight in my right hand, a flashlight in my left hand, and I'm pointing them straight forward towards the wall, I'm able to see those 2 points. And imagine there's two dots on the wall that those flashlights are shining light on. Or if I'm holding it for 5 minutes, I might be good. But once I start getting 7 minutes, I might have one of both of my arms start to low down a little bit and low down a little bit more. But I can see those points. I can't see those points on the wall anymore. So now I have to raise them back up to be back on that point. And that's how I think about meditation awareness here, because my focus it be right there on those dots, but then my arms start drooping down. As I see them drooping down, I snap back into it. I'm aware that I've drooped down some. Now snap back into the game and say, hey, I'm here. I'm focused. I'm locked in on this wall. I think about sniper or archer too. They have to lock in on that point. So they have to be aware of all distractions going around them, but lock in on this point, lock in on this target and say, that's what I'm looking at. They're steady their mind. They're aware of the scenario. They're aware of their surroundings. They ignore what's not the focus. They ignore what's not the point, and they laser in on what their target is and what their point is. So when the archer is pulling that bow back, They're aware of the wind. They're aware of that leaf that's blowing by. They see everything, but they're focusing on that point to let that arrow go at their target. So let's zoom in on the basketball court and say, hey, when it comes to my free throw shooting, the crowd's yelling. That guy likes to blow the whistle from the bench. The girl likes to scream out, whatever she is going crazy. That's fine. I'm tuning all that out. I'm locked in right now on hitting this free throw. I'm the sniper in this moment. I'm the shooter right now. I'm locked in on this moment. I'm aware, I'm focused, I'm present, and I'm calm. Type this free throw down. But through the art of meditation, if you never meditated before, it's hard to kind of go through that practice of tuning things out to know what to focus on and narrow in on. Okay. So you're sitting there and wanting to meditate on a thought or whatever, and your mind wants to drift and your mind wants to go away from that thought. But you become aware of that thought that you've gone away from it. And the point is to kind of get back to it. So you don't necessarily fight against that thought, but you're aware, like, oh, I drift away from that thought. And it's a new thought that I have. You're able to shift back to what you need to be focused on. So don't get scared and get so so weird about meditation. Just think about it's a way to clear things away from your brain, clear out the distractions that you don't need, clear out the thoughts that you don't want to have, and focus on whatever you want to focus on, whatever you need to focus on. So remember, meditation is simply a tool to provide focus, get clarity and awareness. So I didn't go deep enough on clarity. Clarity is kind of like focus, where you remove everything else out the way. Now you're clear on what to focus on, what to say yes to. You're aware of your surroundings and your area around you, but you know you're focused on this one point and this one goal. So hopefully this helps you guys out with understanding what meditation is. Um, Next time I give you my personal experience around meditation, kind of what I kind of use it for. But hope you guys found some value into it. I hope you guys helped you out. Um, if you did, comment below, subscribe. Let me know what you think. But thank you guys. Appreciate you for tuning in. See you.